With one foot in Europe and one in the Middle East, Turkey has always been one of our top holiday destinations. But civil war in Syria has brought ISIS to its doorstep.
Come in.
And trouble is now spilling across the border.
I'm not having it. You guys are all racist. They have issues because she's Syrian.
With religious fundamentalism on the rise in Turkey as well, I'm here to find out how much tougher life is getting for women, and sex workers in particular.
They say then she should not be doing sex work if she wants to live.
As the authorities crack down on a century of legalised prostitution.
Have a good night.
Good night.
I think we're slowly outstaying our welcome.
This is the Turkish city of Gaziantep, just 30 miles from the Syrian border. It's a dangerous place and we can only be here for a few hours. You can really feel the influence of the civil war next door, and ISIS are known to have a presence here by ISIS. So I've just heard that Layla's in the car. She's on her way to us. She's incredibly nervous. She feels really frightened. Just last week, 2 journalists had their throats slit, and ISIS have claimed responsibility. And there's an ISIS presence here, so I think she'll feel safer here. I just wanted to be able to speak openly, you know. We're in lockdown. For my own safety, I can't leave the hotel. All I can... Feel okay? You tell me if you need to stop, that's totally fine. ISIS want to rule completely under Islamic law. While the vast majority of Turkish Muslims see this as a distorted extreme, their new government has recently become much more religiously concerned. The exotic Turkey we know and love from holidays and the TV was founded almost 100 years ago with a constitution that separated religion and politics and had surprisingly liberal views on women and sex work. The state even opened brothels. But under the new tough President Erdogan, attitudes towards sex and sex workers are shifting, and the brothels are being shut down.
I'm actually really curious to see what they look like. So I've never seen a legal brothel, not a state-run brothel.
Zarafa Street is Istanbul's oldest and most famous red light district. I don't know which door is the entrance. So many men. Unlike any other red light district I've visited, all the brothels are hidden behind gates with security guards and metal detectors. Everyone is searched for weapons or cameras, and it's strictly men only.
No problem. Listen. Oh, come on, let's not push. Listen, I can stand here if I like. This is a public space. Yeah, which state are? Tell me? Because they're family men. There you go. That's what they're concerned about. That the guys that are going into this brothel are family men.
Yes, total family men.
Total family men.
Yes.
Dennis, a young guy on his way into the brothel, offers me an insight into why it's so popular with many Turkish men.
In this country, a man they wants to kiss some other women.
But why not their wife?
Their wife is fat and ugly and old. You know, they wanna do sexual things with young girls.
Wives? They must still have a sexual appetite.
In Turkey, women are, if they getting married, they don't wanna do something sexual thing. I have a girlfriend, 21 years old. She don't wanna do some sexual things.
Why?
I don't know, Turkish girls.
I find that hard to believe. I am 28 and I love sex.
Yes.
Many women in their 20s love sex.
Except Turkish. In Turkey, they lost their virginity when they get married. It's about religion. If they lost before getting married, their brother or father gonna kill them. It's a problem in Turkey.
Domestic violence towards women.
Yes.
Such a backwards mentality.
Yes. It's about religion.
Don't shout at me.
He said, I'm going to break your camera. You should go, I think.
Okay.
Getting inside to speak to the sex workers here is not going to happen.
Fucking how far you want me away?
Under the influence of the current government, local authorities have closed almost half of Turkey's 52 state-run brothels. During inspections, if there's any irregularity, no matter how small, it's used as an excuse to shut the place down. It's something the people in power really didn't want to talk to us about, so I'm travelling 360 miles to try to get into one of the handful of state brothels that are still running. Kamal is helping us. He's an activist, a sex worker, and a rare thing in Turkey, openly gay.
Tamam. Görüşürüz. Hoşçakal. He's happy. He's asking. He's wondering where we are.
In terms of me as a woman being inside the brothel, is that going to be problematic?
The main understanding of the state is that brothel is a place where immoral women, full of immoral women, work. And they don't want immoral women and moral women get together. These women are not doing another job, but these are bad women. So they're not looking from a labor-based perspective, but looking from a moralistic perspective to separate two groups of women.
For demonising this.
Demonizing and stigmatizing those women.
So this is it?
This is the door. That's quite big, yeah.
It's nothing like what I'd imagined. Like a prison. Covered in barbed wire, huge walls, railings. I thought it would be down, a dirty little alley.
The atmosphere of the brothel feels a million miles from the bustling activity I witnessed in Istanbul.
Hello. How do you do? Mustafa, the owner.
And as brothel owner Mustafa begins to give me the tour,
So if I can see where the girls work, that would be amazing.
I soon discover why it feels like such a ghost town.
Bu 64 odamız var, 64 tane. 2 tane orada, 3 tane orada. Ancak 5 kişi falan var çalışan şu an, 6 kişi.
Why?
Yeni giriş yok. Yani yeni kadın alım yok. 2002'den beri, 2001'den beri yeni kadın bayan girişi yapmıyor.
This is a legal brothel. What's the issue? Why won't they just allow more women who want to come here join up?
Başvuru yapıyoruz, almıyorlar, yasak diyorlar, şey diyorlar.
The state, they're not only stopping new women to enter brothels as workers, but they are demolishing brothels.
Why?
From my own perspective, this is mainly because of their conservative Islamist ideology.
Do you think any of the girls here will talk to me today?
İstemez. Türkiye'de seks işçi deyince hep ikinci plan atıyor. Yanlış muamele görüyoruz, anladın mı?
I don't want to put anyone at risk or make anyone feel uncomfortable. So I appreciate you allowing me in because I know that's a very big deal. It's proving impossible in Istanbul. So thank you.
I find some of the women who work and live here, but they're adamant they can't speak on camera. Even though it's official, they're convinced that if the authorities see them on screen, they'll lose their jobs, their permits, and their pensions. One of them even tells me that her family would murder her if they knew what she did for a living. And she's been lying about her job for 30 years.
Let's compromise. How about can we do the interview here near the sofas?
Let's go outside.
But then several clients arrive and the atmosphere changes.
You don't want to upset the customers because I don't want the girls missing out on money. So if I go right in this corner, do you think that's okay? Come on then, let's go outside for the minute. It feels a bit tense, a bit apprehensive, so I'm just going to come outside. How do you do? Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night. I think we're slowly outstaying our welcome.
The mad thing is, right, that this brothel is completely legal. The girls, what they're doing, completely legal. The guys entering, no problems. No one here is actually breaking the law. But despite all of that, they're all petrified of appearing on camera. And that does suggest that perhaps society here will not accept how they choose to make a living. With the stigma attached to their trade so great that they risk being killed, I'm not surprised that the prostitutes I'm meeting aren't willing to go on camera. But one brave sex worker has agreed to speak with me. Julia, how are you? Lovely to meet you. I'm Stacey. How do you do? You look incredible. Julia works in one of Turkey's few remaining legal brothels. As well as the shortage of licensed sex workers, her brothel is experiencing an increase in impromptu police checks. Do you think the government disagree with prostitution and are now going about trying to make it more difficult for you, trying to close your brothels down?
Aslında bunun adı fuhuşla mücadele. Yani bunun olmaması gerektiği söyleniyor. Evde veya dışarıda gerçekleştiremedikleri veya teklif edemedikleri şeyleri sundukları veya uygulamaya direkt geçtikleri bir yer burası. Ama bunun haricinde mesela Avrupa ülkelerinde bu böyle mi bilmiyorum ama Türkiye'de bir ailede karı koca arasında oral seks çok da normal karşılanan bir şey değil. Genelde buraya gelen insanların tabii ki hepimiz değil kısmen. Onlar bunu çok aşılmaz bir sınır, duvar olarak gördükleri için buraya bunun için gelebiliyorlar.
Sex is a taboo subject in Turkey, and sex education is non-existent.
İlişki esnasında nereye yöneleceklerini bile bilmiyorlar. Verdiğim örnek bir örnek değil, bir gerçeğin ta kendisinden bahsediyorum. Cinayetler olmamalı. Bekaret Türkiye'de çok önemli bir gerdek gecesinde göbek deliğine zorlayıp kan gelmediği için de bu insanı ölüme teslim edecek insanlar var. Buradan tabii ki kan gelmeyecek. Oysa ben o adama gerçek vefayı gösterdiğimde sağlıklı bir cinsel ilişki yaşayıp bir cinayete sebep olmamış olacak.
I mean, genuinely, you have guys trying to shag you by putting their dick in your belly button?
Evet, evet.
It's one of the most bizarre things I've ever heard, I think. And I've spoken to many prostitutes all around the world, but that is a first. And I know, Julia, you genuinely believe that brothels are necessary. Why? Why are they so important?
Buraya gelen insanlar her zaman çok normal şeyler istemiyorlar. Bu insan odama çıktı. Merhaba, isminiz Hülya. Ben Hülya. Odadan çıkana kadar ben sana Ayşe demek istiyorum dedi. Dedim. Merak ettim ama neden diye sorduğumda bana kızımın adı Ayşe dedi ve ben o anda neyin olduğunun farkına vardım. Yani o adam fantezisi vardı. Kızına karşı bir fantezi. Tabii ki şok oldum. Eğer ben bugün orada olmasaydım, burası olmasaydı belki de o kızına bunu yapmak isteyecekti, yapacaktı.
That's such a mental thought. What you're describing is guys with serious psychological issues. Sex workers like Julia see up to 50 men a day, and I'm shocked when she tells me she thinks maybe a third of her clients have similar fantasies.
Evet, maalesef. Bu çok kötü.
And Julia, how long have you been a sex worker?
15 yaşından bu yana.
So someone forced you into this line of work when you were 15?
Evet, zorlandım tabii ki.
Who?
Merdiven altı yapan insanlar tarafından.
Where were your parents when this was going on?
Ailemden ayrılmıştım. Ailemle alakalı aslında çok fazla konuşmak istemiyorum.
You were never really given a chance to even see if you would like to try any other career.
Yani şu anda da böyle bir şans verilmiyor aslında. Yani bugün ben bu işi bırakmak istiyorum. Normal bir işe girmek istiyorum. Elimdeki vesikam yani kullanmış olduğum bu işi yapmaya sebep olan evrakım hiçbir şekilde iptal olmuyor.
Well, yeah, ideally you would hope that women who are sex workers would have the same kinds of freedom as women who choose not to have sex for a living. Do you not get tired of being demonised? I look at you girls and I think you are so strong and you are so brave and you continue fighting, but it must be exhausting.
Yorulmaz olur musunuz? Tabii ki yoruluyorsunuz. Biz de insanız. Fiziksel olarak da, beyin olarak da her anlamda yoruluyoruz. Ama alternatif yok.
Julia is one of the remaining 1,500 licensed sex workers in Turkey. But there are 100,000 unregistered prostitutes who are even more powerless. As the government takes a more hard-line Islamic stance, liberals are fighting back, and some sex workers have the courage to stand alongside them. I'm en route to my first ever political rally in Turkey, and it's the CH party. It's not in opposition to the current government, they're a secular party. Turkey is days away from a general election, and it seems there are two choices: staying with the current conservative government or taking the country in a more liberal direction.
Wow!
I'm going to the rally with Deria, a transgender sex worker and supporter of the liberal CHP.
Okay. Nice to see you.
Merhaba, merhaba.
She's already seen a shift in attitudes and is worried life will only get worse.
Yani Türkiye'de eşcinsellerin zaten cinayete çok kurban gittiğimiz bir dönem, onun dönemindeydi. Yani bizlere olan saldırılar inanılmaz derece artacak. Yani.
Okay, let's take a leg.
Gidiyoruz bir bu yana. Oradan geçeceğiz ışıklardan.
I feel really excited to be here. Inevitably, there's going to be a lot of people with very strong opinions. They're going to be very passionate. There was a bombing in Ankara literally a couple of weeks ago, one of the deadliest bombings in Turkey. And that was supposed to be a peaceful protest. So let's just see how it goes. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Türk'üm diyene ne? Mutlu Türk'üm diyene ne? Mutlu Türk'üm diyene ne? Mutlu Türk'üm diyene.
All of these people are out here tonight because they've had enough. You know, they want change. Just like Deria. She doesn't want to live feeling frightened all of the time. They're not interested in having an Islamic government. Not these people anyway. But my first Turkish political rally is cut short. Deria is a woman in demand.
Daha Beşiktaş'tayım, burada çay may içiyorum. Birazdan geleceğim eve. Gidiyoruz, eve gidiyorum şu anda ikimiz.
Wow, okay, I can come?
Come.
Yeah? Well then, let's go. We can't keep money waiting. Transsexual sex workers are popular with Turkish men, but they're also far more likely to be abused.
Su atıyorlar, şişe atıyorlar, dövüyorlar. O hariç yanında polis. Ceza kesiyor. Polis dövüyor. Paranı bile alıyor yani.
So Deria, tell me what you bring with you. What's in your bag?
Telefon.
Uh-huh.
Şişe. Onlar bize atıyor. Biz de atıyoruz şişe.
It's like a butcher's knife. Have you ever used any of this stuff?
Tabii. Şişe. Tırırt. Bunu. Sprey. Bunu da korkutmak amaçlı. Çünkü bunlardan korkmuyor. Mecburen bunu açıyorum. Böyle böyle yani yaklaşmasın bana. Yoksa onun elindeki bıçak sokacak bana. Bundan polis. Bu. Ama yapacak bir şey yok. Ne yapabilirsin? Yoksa ölürsün.
Deria has been a sex worker for almost 20 years and like Julia, feels trapped.
Gerçekten ben 40 yaşında bir travestiyim. Türkiye'de yaşıyorum. Vatanımı seviyorum. Ama yaşam şartlarım çok zor. Ben fuhuş yapmak istemiyorum. Artık bedenim çok yoruldu. Hepsine teşekkür ederim ama bunu yapmak istemiyorum.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Yani normal bireyler için daha kolay ama bizler için çok zor bir mücadele.
Feel okay?
Çıkalım. Evet.
Yeah?
Çok.
You got everything?
Evet.
Transsexuals aren't seen by the state as women, so they can't work in legal brothels. The only option is risking the streets, having strangers in their homes, or working in illegal sex houses. This is one of the most notorious illegal trans brothels in Istanbul.
It's completely illegal. But for whatever reason, it's way more obvious. The legal brothels are actually quite hard to get into and are extremely well hidden. I just find it extraordinary that so many brothels are being closed down. And this is operating so obviously.
And some of the men who are window shopping think I'm for sale too.
Hangi kanal?
I don't know if they think I'm a prostitute. Uh-oh.
I.
No, thank
No.
you.
Yeah, okay,
No,
okay.
no, it's definitely not okay.
Yeah.
These young boys keep asking me for sex. They are deluded, they're children. This is what they want.
This is sex.
This is sex, yeah, this
Sex,
is definitely
yeah.
sex.
You,
Not in a
you,
million
I.
years. You think I'm easy?
Bence çok zor.
Why?
Biraz beautiful.
To ask a woman that you don't know if you can kiss her and if you can shag her and show her pictures of anal sex on your phone, is that a bit rude? Do you think that's acceptable?
Bence de kaba. Bence kaba.
You playboy.
You,
Playboy.
you, I, yes.
Have you used the trans brothel?
Yeah.
Ben gittim. Çok.
Is it good?
Four.
Çok iyi. Çok
You've
iyi.
been in there for
Four.
a while.
Yeah, four.
Why do you prefer trans prostitutes?
Daha çok.
Daha hoşuma gidiyor, daha çok zevk veriyor. O yüzden. Hardcore yaptığımız için.
So talk me through what's hardcore to you.
Ya şu an gösteremeyeceğim ama pozisyon yani.
Does she fuck you or do you fuck her?
Ben onu yapıyorum.
Ben
So you insert your penis into their ass.
Ameliyatlı oldukları için ön taraf.
Would you describe yourselves as straight guys? Bisexuals?
normal
erkeğiz.
tabii ki normal. Tabii ki normal. Normal.
So why are you using trans prostitutes?
Daha güzel ve daha seksi oldukları için.
Is there anything you would like to ask me?
Biz sadece kendisiyle seks yapmak istiyoruz. Şu an
Aynen.
You just want to have sex with me? Are you being serious? Because I'm actually starting to feel quite insulted. The assumption that you have made that I am just going to leap onto you because you have shown me one bit of interest. That's not how women operate. It's not how all women work.
From speaking to these guys, it seems that one of the reasons trans prostitutes are so popular is that they indulge Turkish men's hardcore sexual fantasies. I can't talk to the women working here. Me and my camera are bad for business.
It's the camera. She's trying to work the camera.
To hear more about Turkish men's sexual preferences, I head back to Deria's. But I have to wait in line. She's expecting a client any minute. As well as working on the streets, Deria were home.
Ay memelerimi çekme. Kız memelerimi çekme.
Oh, you don't want us to see your boobs? They're nicer than mine. You're a beautiful woman. So tell me about this client tonight.
Bu gece ilk müşterim telefonla geldi. Bakalım nasıl olacak. İyi mi olacak, kötü mü olacak? 80 sonra göreceğiz. Müşteriden sonra göreceğiz. O zaman anlatırım size. Kondom.
Very necessary.
Naş naş.
I won't say anything or go anywhere until you come and get
Okay.
me.
Hiç ses çıkarmayın içeride. Tamam ben bekliyorum.
Have fun. Put the TV on. This is the weirdest experience. She's asked for the telly to be on because even when she's alone, she'll make sure that they can hear the television so that the client assumes someone else is in the house. Means he's less likely to attack her. Inviting complete strangers into your personal space, into your home. So dangerous, I'd be petrified. Hopefully he's nearly finished. Sounds like he is. What have I become? Like some weird English pervert.
Çok yorgunum şu halime bak. Adama 31 çektirmekten buralarım ağrıyor. Bak kızardım.
Let me just see.
Sikine tuttum böyle. Bak kızardı.
Wow. You're red raw.
Bak buna bak bir de buna bak. Hep böyle 31 çekmekten.
Deria chose to keep her penis. As a trans sex worker, she knows it's her biggest asset.
So what happened?
Ondan sonra ne zaman ki benimkine dokundu, okşadı, o zaman kalktı onunkisi. Neden diyor bağırmaya başladım bana. Ama diyorum yani sıkıldım. Yani boşalacaksan boşal. Adamı ağzına aldı, yaladı gitti.
So he came by sucking your penis?
Oral yaparak boşaldı. O da o 31 çekti. Bana oral yaptı.
So ordinarily when they turn up, are they usually hard? They're usually turned on and you just have to finish them off?
Çoğunlukla işte %20 dedim ya %70 zaten ereksiyon olmuyor. Ne zaman ki penisini tutup da penisini okşarsa veya ağzına alırsa o da ereksiyon oluyor. Yani %70'i gay diyelim, %20'si faşist.
Do you think some of the guys who you believe to be gay are struggling to accept their sexuality? And so by using trans prostitutes, they can somehow convince themselves they're not completely gay.
Tabii eşcinseli asla kabul etmezler. Ama bir transseksüelle veya transla işte travestiyle beraber oldukları zaman en azından içindeki duyguları bastırabiliyorlar. Hani bir erkekle beraber olamayacağı için
How much did he pay you?
100 lira.
Is that quite good?
Aslında benim için çok iyi fiyat.
Bye bye. She's desperate to have a wash because she said she's all sweaty and dirty.
It seems difficult in Turkey for men to be openly gay. I've left Istanbul to head to Turkey's capital, Ankara, to speak to Kamal, the openly gay sex worker and activist who got me into the brothel.
Kamal,
Hi.
how are you?
Trying to be good. How are you doing?
I'm very well. I'm very well, thank you.
So welcome to
Thank
the office.
you.
This is the office.
This is something I haven't seen in Turkey just yet.
Well, it's the rainbow thing
The
that we're
first time
fighting
I've
for.
seen it.
So, as you see from the posters, what we do actually is raise awareness and visibility on human rights violations that sex workers face. We, for example, offer legal aid to victims of violence. This is one of the most important things that my organization does.
Tell me about the relationship generally between the authoritative figures and the sex workers here in Turkey.
The AKP government, they want to get rid of sex workers. They want to cleanse the country from sex workers. And this is something I'm saying not because I'm exaggerating. This is the case.
Why aren't people up in arms? Why aren't there demonstrations fighting for these people's rights?
People just don't care about sex workers. You see stories of, for example, transgender people who were killed, their heads were cut off, their silicones were taken away from their bodies, their legs were cut and thrown to a dustbin or stabbing a sex worker 200 times. But you see the comments on internet below the news. Like they have this hatred. They say that she should not be doing sex work if she wants to live. These are the stories that we are always facing.
Most attacks on sex workers either go unreported or Kamal claims are not taken seriously by the police, as he knows from personal experience when he was raped by a client in his own home.
It's obviously a big trauma for me, and it's not very easy for me to talk about that because like it was about theft, sexual assault, forcibly keeping me at a place that I didn't want to be.
The incident happened 6 months ago when a regular client turns up at Kamal's house with some friends.
So there were 3 people, 1 outside, 2 inside, and I realized that something bad was happening at that time.
One guy raped you?
Yes. And while raping, he was always repeating that, so we are 3 people, and it's so bad. So we are 3 people, and we will come back to your house. You have to give us money. I was paralyzed, to be honest, and I tried to be calm, actually, because I know many of my friends died because of that. All of them, including the 3rd person, told me that they would come to my house, they would take my money again, and they would fuck me. I started to cry, and I said, okay, I will give you money. So they took me to one of the ATMs. But on the way, I saw the lights of the police car. I ran towards the police officers. The first reaction of the police officer was that, shut up. I was like, I started to cry at that time.
That's what you said?
Yes, shut up.
Like, you've just been violated in your own home, and I bet when you saw the police, you couldn't believe your luck. Then you approach them, and it's more bullshit, you know, it's...
The perpetrators started to tell the police officers, look, you are our brother, and you know these faggots, they always tell these things. Yes, we had sex with him, but, I mean, he's just telling a lie.
They don't identify themselves as being gay guys.
No, not at all. They told the police officers that, look, we are men, and we have families, so you should help us, because we're like you, you're our brother. These were the exact words.
Since the incident, Kamal has brought proceedings against all 3 men and the police. After months of waiting, today's the first day of the court case against the men he's accused.
Oh gosh.
What's wrong?
I'm so stressed.
Don't listen to me, don't feel stressed. Just remember why you're doing this. You're totally capable, you've got this.
I mean, I spent my 4 months to forget about what happened, and now they want me to tell about the details.
Okay. Kamal is being supported today by friends and lawyers he works with. Hello, how do you do? He's in the same situation as many of the sex workers he's helped in the past. This is such a huge deal. You know, he's trying to represent so many sex workers who don't have the courage to speak up and say, you know what, I am a sex worker, but I was raped. I didn't ask for this and it's not acceptable. The police haven't taken me seriously. And I'm a human. I deserve respect. Although I'm allowed to sit in on the trial, the camera has to stay outside. But it seems Kamal will still have a long wait for justice. The first formal hearing today, it's just been adjourned. About 2.5 months. The second hearing will continue. Kamal, whilst giving evidence, was sobbing, throughout the entire process. The three lads are convinced that they're completely innocent. They were shouting, "We are not guilty." If he's so frightened, what's he doing inviting men to his house in the middle of the night? It's like, how realistic is it that he's going to get the justice he deserves? I caught up with Kamal after he was finished at the court.
Of course, they're struggling with their sexuality and they're not out. They don't want to be out because they don't accept themselves as being gay. Many of the clients that come to us act as a gay, but when they go back to their house, they act as the husband of their wives or the father of their children in a very heterosexual way. And sometimes I feel pity for them.
You've been through so much. Will you be returning to sex work?
I may go back.
Because you want to, because you have to?
It's not about money only, because I remember myself doing like translations for money, which is really like mind-fucking. I mean, I would prefer to do sex work to a certain level compared to doing translation, to be honest.
Really?
Yes, but not now, because psychologically I'm not well.
Right, leave you to it. Take care. I am shocked that despite all he's been through, Kamal might well return to sex work.
Merhaba, seks yapmak ister misin?
Deria feels she has no choice. She needs to do the work to pay her bills.
Motora bine gideriz, 80 lira evde. İşine gelirse canım benim, aşk olsun yani. 50 lira. Arabada 40.
But there's another group of sex workers in Turkey who are even lower on the pecking order than transsexuals. They have no rights, no support, and barely make ends meet. Those are the women from war-torn Syria. So far, at least 3 million Syrian refugees have entered Turkey, and a large number have settled in a rundown area of Istanbul. This has become a small ghetto of Syrian refugees. A lot of desperate people here with little or no help from the state. I've got nothing, darling. I've got you. Nothing. Although Turkey has offered them a life free from war, their struggle continues through the discrimination they face. Hello, baby. I haven't got anything. Sorry. With no legitimate income, they're forced to live in squalor, in houses that are illegal and condemned. You've got to try and imagine where these people have come from for this neighbourhood to now be so appealing. It's like the buildings could collapse at any moment, the kids are hungry, it's filthy. But in all honesty, these people here, they see themselves as the lucky ones because it sure beats still being in Syria. Frightened that you're going to get killed or being in them camps near the border. I've arranged to speak to a 35-year-old woman from Aleppo, a city devastated by war. She fled with her 3 children and husband who is too ill to work. If she can't make enough begging, she feels her only choice is to sell herself for sex. She's agreed to tell me her story in a hotel close by. It's getting cold. You've got some money? We've got some. Good. But as we take a shortcut through a market, I discover firsthand the sort of discrimination that many refugees face on a daily basis. What's the problem?
This problem.
What's the problem?
This problem.
This problem?
Yes.
You mean my friend?
No, not my friend.
Why won't you let her in? Listen, we don't want any trouble. She's not going to cause anything. He's just sprayed me in my mouth with something. Someone has just sprayed me in the mouth and they put something in her mouth.
Sorry,
No.
not for you.
You need to calm down. Listen, I'm not having it. The issue is, you guys are all racist. They have issues because she's serious. It's racist behaviour and it's totally unacceptable.
Kamerayı almak zorundayım. Versene şu kamerayı bana.
Let's go. Let's go.
This is all you can get. You know, do you want to kill all your film?
No, I
we have
don't.
We have to go quickly. Listen to
so
me.
Unacceptable.
These
They're
kind of
racist thugs.
Yeah.
What did he say? Why did they
He
spray
said they spit on the woman because they're thinking that she was a beggar.
But they sprayed something in my face. I couldn't breathe.
They are, I think, both racist and also very religiously conservative guys.
Aklıma bas baktı, öldürecekti beni. Bütün pis adamlar. Çok güzelsin. Çok güzelsin.
Ah, come on. You silly. You okay? Fatima has been living here for 18 months. She paid traffickers to walk across the Syria-Turkey border after ISIS destroyed her home.
Görmediğimiz işleri gördük. Gün oldu ekmek bulamadık. Halimiz perişan oldu.
Fatima's in her 30s and I've seen the face beneath the veil. She looks a lot younger than she sounds. Once she starts telling me her story, I understand why.
Bir parça ekmek küçük kötü durumlara düştük. Ben ne iş yapmasam. Halim çok perişan olur. Bizim başımıza gelen köpeğin başına gelmedi. Kötü adamlar zorluk yapıyorlar. Kadınlara sövüyorlar. Kadınlara diyorlar ki namına koduğum 5 lira 10 lira. 5 liraları kötü laf söylüyorlar. Suriye kadınları da çok yanıcı yapıyorlar. Suriye kadınlara diyorlar ki siz Suriyelısınız amına koduklarım. Böyle. Siz savaştan kaçtınız.
When you were in Syria, you had never before been a sex worker.
Hiç.
Does your husband know how you're making money?
Bir sefer yaşadınız.
And how many guys are you having to sleep with a night to make sure that you can feed your husband and the kids have got food?
2, 3.
Before you had to start selling yourself, had you ever been intimate with another man other than your husband?
Yok. Hayır. Yok. Allah size göstermesin bu acıyı. Bu savaşı göstermesin.
I mean, she's hysterical, understandably. She's traumatised. How could she not be? Is that how any one person can go through what she's had to is beyond me. You can't begin to imagine. It's an existence for her now. But a really bleak one. With the Syrian crisis raging on next door, the Turkish people have voted in their general election. They've put the AKP in charge, a hardline Islamic party who won a clear majority.
In Ankara, supporters of the ruling party took to the streets claiming an unspoken victory.
Wow, it was an unexpected victory. The AK party will now single-handedly
rule the country, which for a lot of sex workers here, that was their worst case scenario. In their words, that was the last thing they wanted to happen.
The president and the party he founded had a very simple message. It's us or chaos.
It's not good news for people I've spent time with.